What's up, guys? All right, sorry it's been so long since I've been out detecting in videos and having fun out there and showing you guys, but make this video short and sweet for you guys. Last night I was out and I forgot my GoPro to show you some finds, which I didn't find crap. I did end up dropping my WM10 in the waves. And the reason why I knew I dropped it is because I didn't hear my tones anymore because I was digging something out and it was just dipping in the waves. My gosh, I was just like, are you kidding me? Did I really just do that? This clip is not the best, by the way. I'm gonna have to figure out how to modify this thing. So anyways, I went and looked up, like, you know what? I'll just buy a new one. Who cares? They're about $250. So that wasn't gonna happen. So I decided, let me take this thing apart. So first of all, if you dropped your WM10 and you're watching this video right now, take the damn thing apart immediately. Because I'm telling you right now, especially in salt water, now throw it in a bag of rice, I don't know if that'll work. I don't even know if that works anyways. It's never worked for me. Not that I've tried it too many times, but I just can't imagine it working. Okay, anyways, if you put it in a bag of rice for fresh water, maybe that'll work. I don't know. But salt water, hell no. Don't just rely on rice to pull moisture out of this thing. You need to take it apart because let me tell you what happened to me. I took this thing apart and just from last night to today, that amount of time, so many of these terminals were already corroded from the salt water and just drying on there. That stuff works quick. So what I did was, now when you open this thing up, there's 4 screws that take off the back, little torque bit screws. You pull those off and the board will sit here and it's connected by a battery and a speaker, right? So what you're gonna do is unplug both of them. They come apart pretty easily. Just be careful you don't strip these wires out. And you wanna basically use a jeweler's loop thing, or if you have a soldering magnifier, those are bitchin' if you have one of those. I don't have one of those. I wish I did today, but you can go over the entire board and take a look. Now what you're looking for is all these soldering points to make sure there's not corrosion and make sure the corrosion hasn't eaten away the solder. So do you want to just go over it all? And the ones that you do see, take some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip and you're going to go over the entire board. Don't worry about it getting too wet. Just get it on there. Like I said, make sure there's no power to the board when you do this, but go over everything, clean up all the terminals and everything. Go over it again with the magnifier or the loop. Make sure you got everything and see where you're sitting. Now what I did was I cleaned everything really good, went over it like 10 times and I kept finding terminals that were corroded. So the main issue for me was this little battery terminal right here, in between the headphone jack and the little terminal here, there is 2 little pins. So they go into this thing, they go down and they shoot out the back. And right out the back, they're soldered onto the board. For me, one of the salt water ate away some of the, or all of the soldering on one of those points. Solder just ate it away. So there was no contact from one of the, I don't know if it was I think it was the positive line, the red line. There was nothing connecting it to the board. So I thought, all right, sweet. I'm just gonna solder that back on the board. Well, I suck at soldering. I just use this little gun here. It's got a little adjuster on it, but anyway, any soldering gun should work as long as it melts the solder. And you want a fine tip on it, a nice tight point, a fine tip point. Because trying to do that with a thick point is gonna suck. So I'm not gonna say how to solder. If you don't know how to solder, you might wanna watch another video, but you're gonna solder that little thing to the board and then see if you fire up. For me, I lucked out, that fired up on the board, or that caused the board to fire up. My other problem was the power LED light, the green one on this thing, was not working. So when I powered it up, just the red one was flashing. So I took got my loop out again, took a look, 2 of the points on the LED, there's 4 soldering points on each LED light. 2 of them were totally gone, corroded, and those were toast. So I got rubbing alcohol, cleaned it all up really good. I could see where it was missing. Now I can't even see those little soldering points. Seriously, they're so small. So if you have a magnifier, even better. You can probably get one cheap somewhere. You want to be able to solder. I just laid the solder on there, tacked it down, and just hoped, and it worked. So I was stoked. I couldn't even believe it. So, and then I just went over the board a couple more times. I found some more corrosion around the little USB terminal that was underneath it. I got some of that. And then I just started cleaning up even more, you know? The points that I already soldered, I didn't touch those again because they worked. I wasn't gonna touch them. But if you've dropped your WM10 in the water, you need to immediately take it apart, dry it up, clean up the terminals, and see what parts are missing. Don't just immediately throw it away, because if you were like me, it's fixable. Maybe not, maybe they're all not fixable. It might short the board out, I don't know, but mine was on, working and dipping in the waves and shut off. And I think if I would have got to it in time, maybe I didn't have to solder those points. Maybe if I took it apart too sooner, maybe they wouldn't have eaten it away. Who knows? Maybe it was already eaten away, but I can't imagine it would have been. Because I do go to the beach and saltwater corrodes things. I thought maybe it was already corroded, but since it shut off on me and didn't turn back on, something happened inside. So I'm just assuming that saltwater works or eats up the soldering points really quickly if it's sitting on there. So that was it for me, guys. That fixed mine. Don't throw yours away. Take a look at the board at least and see what soldering points you can fix and see if it at least fires up. It's worth a shot before you toss it. But that's it. And plug those two back in, put it back together, screw it in, and you're good to go. And let's test you on mine. Oh, it's not pushing the button. Sorry, not together, but here's mine. I can't even believe it. That's like music to your ears when you break something like this. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked this thing works. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll see if I can help you out. But basically, just look for the terminals, see which ones are broken, try to repair them, and clean the board really good. And make sure you scan it all over for any other points that maybe you missed that need cleaning. And that's it. And be careful when you're cleaning. I just used a Q-tip, so I was just grazing over everything. All right. Have a great day, you guys. Thanks for the love. And hope to get out there and get some more videos. Have a good day. See ya.